Audrey Hepburn, one of the most iconic actresses of the 20th century, was born on May 4, 1929, in Brussels, Belgium. Her full name at birth was Audrey Kathleen Ruston. She was the daughter of a British father, Joseph Victor Anthony Ruston, and a Dutch baroness, Ella van Heemstra. Audrey's early years were marked by privilege, as she was born into a well-off family. However, her childhood was not as carefree as one might imagine. In 1935, when Audrey was just 6 years old, her parents divorced. This was a significant event in her young life, and it deeply affected her. Her father, whom she adored, left the family, and she would later say that his departure was the most traumatic event of her life. Despite this, Audrey continued her studies and was enrolled in boarding schools in England. In 1939, as World War II loomed, Audrey's mother decided to move back to the Netherlands, believing it would be safer than England. Audrey was enrolled in a school in Arnhem, a city that would later become the site of a major battle during the war. The German invasion of the Netherlands in 1940 marked the beginning of a difficult and dangerous period for Audrey and her family. They endured the hardships of living under Nazi occupation, and Audrey's privileged upbringing was replaced by the harsh realities of war. During the war, Audrey's passion for dance became a source of comfort and escape. She had been studying ballet since she was a child, and she continued her lessons in secret during the occupation. It was also during this time that she began performing in underground concerts to raise money for the Dutch resistance. They took place in secret and were often held in people's homes. Audrey's involvement in these performances showed not only her love for the arts, but also her courage and commitment to helping others. The war years were also marked by severe hardship for Audrey. The winter of 1944 to 1945, known as the Hunger Winter, was particularly brutal. Food was scarce, and many people in the Netherlands, including Audrey, suffered from malnutrition. She later recalled eating tulip bulbs to survive. The lack of food left Audrey weak and sickly, and it affected her health for the rest of her life. After the war ended in 1945, Audrey moved to Amsterdam, where she continued her ballet training with Sonia Gaskell, one of the most famous Dutch ballet dancers of the time. Audrey's dream was to become a prima ballerina, and she worked tirelessly to achieve this goal. In 1948, she moved to London to study with the renowned ballet teacher Marie Rambert. However, Audrey soon realized that her height and the effects of wartime malnutrition would prevent her from reaching the top ranks of the ballet world. Although this was a disappointment, Audrey did not give up on her dreams of performing. Instead, she began to explore acting. Audrey's acting career started with minor roles in British films, but her talent and charm quickly caught the attention of filmmakers. In 1951, she was cast in a small but important role in the film The Secret People, where she had the opportunity to showcase both her acting and her ballet skills. It was around this time that Audrey was spotted by the French writer Colette, who was searching for an actress to play the lead role in the Broadway adaptation of her novella Gigi. Audrey was cast in the role, and her performance in Gigi was a success. This marked her first significant step towards stardom. Audrey's big break came in 1953 when she was cast as Princess and in the film Roman Holiday. The film, directed by William Wyler, tells the story of a young princess who escapes her royal duties to explore Rome on her own. Audrey's performance was captivating, and she brought a unique blend of elegance, innocence, and charm to the role. Roman Holiday was a huge success, and Audrey won an Academy Award for Best Actress, making her an overnight sensation. Following the success of Roman Holiday, Audrey became one of the most sought-after actresses in Hollywood. Over the next few years, she starred in a series of successful films that solidified her status as a major star. In 1954, she appeared in Sabrina, a romantic comedy directed by Billy Wilder. In this film, Audrey played the role of Sabrina Fairchild, the daughter of a chauffeur who falls in love with the son of her father's wealthy employer. Once again, Audrey's performance was praised, and she was nominated for another Academy Award. Audrey's collaboration with the French fashion designer Hubert de Givenchy began during the making of Sabrina. Givenchy was initially disappointed when he was told he would be designing costumes for Miss Hepburn, as he expected the actress Katharine Hepburn. However, when he met Audrey, he was charmed by her elegance and beauty. This marked the beginning of a lifelong friendship and professional collaboration. Givenchy's designs became a key part of Audrey's image, and she became known for her timeless and sophisticated style. In 1957, Audrey starred in the musical Funny Face alongside Fred Astaire. The film was another success, and it allowed Audrey to showcase her talents as a dancer, singer, and actress. The following year, she starred in Love in the Afternoon with Gary Cooper, another romantic comedy that was well received by audiences. One of Audrey's most iconic roles came in 1961 when she starred as Holly Golightly in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's, directed by Blake Edwards. The character of Holly, a glamorous but lonely New York socialite, was different from any role Audrey had played before. The film was a commercial success, and Audrey's portrayal of Holly Golightly became one of the most memorable performances in film history. The black Givenchy dress she wore in the film became an iconic symbol of elegance and remains one of the most famous dresses of all time. In 1964, Audrey starred in the film My Fair Lady, based on the Broadway musical of the same name. She played the role of Eliza Doolittle, a poor flower girl who was transformed into a lady by a professor of phonetics. The film was a major success, but there was some controversy surrounding Audrey's casting. Many fans of the original Broadway production wanted Julie Andrews, who had played Eliza on stage, to be cast in the film. Despite this, Audrey's performance was praised, and My Fair Lady became one of the highest-grossing films of the 1960s. Throughout her career, Audrey was known for her poise, grace, and elegance. She had a unique ability to bring warmth and humanity to the characters she played, and she quickly became one of the most beloved actresses in Hollywood. However, despite her success, Audrey was always humble and never took her fame for granted. She once said, "Success is like reaching an important birthday and finding out you're exactly the same." In addition to her film career, Audrey was also deeply committed to humanitarian work. In the 1960s, she began to take fewer film roles as she focused on her family and personal life. She married twice, first to actor Mel Ferrer in 1954, and later to Italian psychiatrist Andrea Ditti in 1969. Audrey had two sons, Sean Ferrer and Luca Ditti, whom she adored. Her experiences as a mother and her memories of the hardships she faced during the war inspired her to work for children in need. In 1988, Audrey was appointed a Goodwill Ambassador for UNICEF, the United Nations agency responsible for providing humanitarian and developmental aid to children around the world. In this role, Audrey traveled to some of the poorest and most war-torn countries, including Ethiopia, Bangladesh, and Somalia. She used her fame to draw attention to the plight of children suffering from hunger, disease, and conflict. Audrey's work with UNICEF was tireless, and she continued to travel and advocate for children until her health began to decline. In 1992, Audrey was diagnosed with a rare form of abdominal cancer. Despite her illness, she continued to work for UNICEF as much as she could. Her final trip was to Somalia in October 1992, where she witnessed the devastating effects of famine and war. She later said that the experience left her heartbroken, but she remained determined to help in any way she could. Audrey Hepburn passed away on January 20, 1993, at the age of 63, at her home in Switzerland. Her death was mourned by millions of fans around the world, and she was remembered not only as a talented actress but also as a compassionate and dedicated humanitarian. Audrey's legacy continues to live on through her films and the work she did to help others. In 1993, she was posthumously awarded the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in recognition of her work with UNICEF. Audrey Hepburn's life story is one of grace, resilience, and kindness. Despite the challenges she faced, she remained true to herself and dedicated her life to helping others. Today, she is remembered as one of the greatest actresses of all time and a symbol of timeless elegance. But more importantly, she is remembered for her unwavering commitment to making the world a better place, especially for children in need. Her life serves as an inspiration to all who aspire to make a difference in the world.